Hey everybody, welcome back to Healing Oceans, and today I'm going to be talking about depression. So I've had depression for as long as I can remember. Literally as long as I can remember, since birth, since a toddler. And with my depression, I felt so isolated from the entire world. Growing up, it always felt like, you know, everyone else got to be happy but me. Like I could never be happy. And in all the moments I'm supposed to be the happiest, I'm literally the most miserable in all those moments. So with depression, I find that it cripples me. It's so bad at times where I couldn't even get out of bed for 2.5 hours. It could take me 2.5 hours to get out of bed. I couldn't eat. I had no appetite. I lost all interest in stuff that I used to love to do, such as playing football and all kinds of sports, lifting weights. It's just like I get isolated. I get so isolated to be in my own world that I just completely isolate myself, and that's one of the worst things I feel like you can do when you have depression. So a tip I would give people that are struggling with depression, one of the best things that you can do is to talk to someone, or to write down your feelings, write down what you're going through, because you don't want to just isolate yourself. And that's exactly what I did, and unfortunately, I regret doing that a lot, especially growing up, because I didn't talk to anyone about it. I was so scared someone was going to find out that I had depression. I was petrified, and that called, I have anxiety as well. So it's like my depression and my anxiety would feed off of each other. And I thought if someone found out that I had depression, that I was this weird loser and all this and that. But in reality, more than half the world struggles from depression and anxiety. So you're not alone. You're never alone when it comes to that. And I want people to know they can always come to this channel to feel loved, because I love you and God loves you, and that's the message I always want to give to people, despite what they believe. But you can always come to this channel to be loved. But with my depression, like I said, it cripples me, and I still struggle with depression to this day. I'm 22 years old. I've been struggling with it my entire life. It's like I could be out to eat with family and friends, and I'll be sitting at the table, and it's like everything's moving real fast and everyone's having a really fun time, but then it's just me like this. Like I'm just like I'm in my own world, and it seems like everything's going in slow motion. I'm just analyzing everything, and everyone's laughing and eating and cracking jokes, and then I'm just there, just watching it all happen like it's a dream of some sort. Because I also struggle with depersonalization and derealization disorder. So I struggle from a lot of mental disorders, and once again, I'm using this channel to express how I feel and also to give tips to people for that. But yeah, I struggle with depression all of my life, and I can't really think of any main causes. I was bullied when I was younger, which did cause a lot of depression, but it was weird. I was bullied for my depression. It's like everyone would be happy around me, and they'd be like, "Why are you so sad? Why don't you ever smile?" You know what I mean? And that just made me feel like a million times worse. So it was kind of like I was bullied for having depression, which is really messed up when you think about it. But unfortunately, we live in a world where stuff like that happens. But if you're ever being bullied, if you're ever depressed, you can always come to this channel and realize, you're always welcome here. You can always comment in the comment sections. You can talk to me. You can hit me up. Whatever. Just get in contact with me. I would love to help you as much as I possibly can, as I still every day continue to help myself. But yeah, with my depression, it basically, that's the main thing it does to me. It cripples me. I lose appetite. It could take me sometimes 3 hours to get out of bed. Well, it used to take me that long, but 3 hours to get out of bed. I wouldn't go nowhere. I wouldn't talk to nobody. I would do nothing other than lay in bed. and just drink water and literally eat maybe not even one meal a day. Eat like some type of something bad for me. I don't know, like a coffee cake or something. I wouldn't even eat at all, barely. And I've noticed with depression, it's all mind game. Like once I've said before in previous videos, I believe there's an African proverb that I love. That is, if there is no enemy, outside, if there's no enemy within, the enemy outside can do no harm. So it's all a mind game, and it's very hard with depression to try to figure out what exactly is going on with your depression. Because for some people, with their depression, they might have been born with it. With other people, it could be environment, and that's actually a huge one. Is environment. You want to ask yourself right now, what kind of environment are you in? What's going on in your environment? Because your environment could be the reason why you're depressed. I know for me, that was one of the big reasons why I was depressed. I was still born with depression, but I've noticed with being in a bad environment that I was in, it only made it worse. Like the bullying, it just made it worse. So you wanna know what kind of environment you're in. You wanna know if your environment could be triggering your depression, and you wanna take your time with it. Like I said, it's hard to really figure out what's going on sometimes. For some people, they lose a loved one. They may never had depression before in their life, and all of a sudden, someone they love, someone they really care about, unfortunately passes away. Or they see someone they really love get sick, and they have to watch them, and that can be really hard. I know, because my grandma has Alzheimer's, and just watching her slowly deteriorate, is so unhumane looking. It's so horrible, and that for me can trigger my depression. So there's a lot of things that can trigger your depression, but I would say probably the number one cause that triggers depression, now that I mention it, is environment. You really, really, really want to watch your environment, and you want to watch what you're eating. Your diet could be another reason why you're depressed. Some people are literally only depressed because their diet is absolute crap. I just became vegetarian, and I'm already feeling a lot better. Of course, I still struggle with depression every single day, but anything that you can do to help minimize that, make sure you do it, if it's a healthy thing, of course. But yeah, I really just wanted to talk about my depression, and I've been depressed my whole life, and in the moments that I should feel the happiest or the moments I feel the most depressed, and then the moments I should feel the worst sometimes are the moments that I feel the most joy, which I find really weird. But it's a hard thing to diagnose, to get your hands on. It's hard to comprehend a lot. Like, why am I feeling this way? Why am I always so tired? Why can't I eat? It feels like all your friends are just passing you by in life, and you're just watching each one like accomplish something really great, and then it's like there you are still at the same spot. But you gotta stay positive. You gotta keep your thoughts in the right place. So positive thinking, checking your environment, and checking what you're eating, all of that can help with your depression. You need to keep an eye on that. You need to write down each day, you need to write down your feelings and why you're feeling the way you were feeling that day. There could have been a certain reason. If you start writing it down, you could read in what you wrote about what happened that day, and you could be like, oh my gosh, there it is. That's why I was depressed that day. That's what caused my depression that day. Some people, it's like a PTSD type depression. A lot of people might have been raped or had something really horrible done to them, and they might feel shame and guilt and depression from what happened for the rest of their lives if they don't ever address it. So one of the best ways to help cure your depression is to really find the cause of it. But finding the cause of it is really, really, really the hard thing. I still don't believe I found the real cause for my depression yet. I found causes. One of it is not feeling as close to God as I would like to. I try to have a good spiritual life. I try to stay connected with God, but unfortunately, I've made a lot of bad decisions in my life, and it's taken me further away from God. But I know God is good, and God is always here for me. So I have to remind myself that, and that's the positive thinking that I'm talking about. So you got to remind yourself about the positives. If you're always focusing on the negatives, you will be depressed your entire life. You have to find the positives in everything. Even just for example, hypothetically speaking, you get into a car accident. Most depressed people, they might burst out crying. Oh my gosh, my car is totaled. Da da da. Finding the positives would be you get into the car accident, and again, hypothetically speaking, you're all right. The positive is saying I'm okay. I didn't die. I'm okay. It's going to be okay. It's just a car. It can get fixed. That's finding the positives and all the negatives. So with depression, you really gotta ask God to turn ashes into beauty, and you gotta do it yourself too. We're not robots. God didn't make us as robots or whatever you believe in. We're human beings. We have freedom of will to do what we want, and a lot of our depression is self-inflicted pain that we put on ourselves. We put a lot of depression on ourselves. And one of them is energy vampires. Your surroundings, your environment. A lot of you might allow these people into your environment that are no good for you. They might just have straight up negative energy, and they might be depressed people themselves, and they might feed off of negative energy. There's a lot of energy vampires out there that feed off people's energy. So if someone's draining your energy, you need to make sure that you get them out of your life. And I know that's not easy to do, because someone can drain your energy that you really love, and that's really hard. And that's something that I went through with a lot of relationships. I gave my all to a lot of women, and they didn't care, and a lot of them drained me. But it's not their fault, it's mine, because I did that to myself. I didn't love myself enough to say she's no good for me, she's just draining me, she's just making it worse. So environment, diet, positive thinking are a lot of ways that can help you with your depression, and I know they have helped me with mine. But again, look out for negative people, because negative people, I'm telling you, that's one of the main reasons why so many people have so many problems in life, because they allow these they allow these leeches, these energy leeches, these vampires to come into their life, suck all the energy out of them. And unfortunately, a lot of people allow those people into their life because they want to feel loved and they want to feel accepted. But just because you're married to someone right now, it doesn't mean they're a good husband or a good wife. You really need to examine and analyze your life and how you can love yourself better, because a lot of you are in bad marriages right now, bad relationships, at the wrong job, eating the wrong food. So I just wanted to talk about that real quick and throw out those little bit of tips, like I said, environment, positive thinking, diet, and all that. I hope it can help you guys, and you can always come to this channel to feel love. You can always come to this channel to hear my stories, and please, in the comment section, leave your stories in the comment section, or open up if you like, because that's another tip to help heal depression. You need to open up. Don't isolate yourself. I'm 22 years old. I've isolated myself so much with my depression, and the more you isolate yourself, the worse it will be. So make sure you guys get out there, get active, eat right, and change your environment to have positive people in it. Once again, thanks for coming to my channel, Healing Oceans. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and please hit the bell so you know when I upload videos. Thank you guys for tuning in once again. Peace.